wife we are, sharing God's love with the children He has blessed us with. The covenant of love is a gift from God. Mommy and Daddy is a gift from God. Both sons and daughters are a gift of God. Oh yes.
Welcome to Family God's Way. Today, we're two esteemed gentlemen, Mr. Gabriel Maldonado and Mr. Allan Chulin. And we are at the San Ignacio Hotel. And today, we will be talking about family and how to put it right, God's way. Welcome, gentlemen.
Welcome.
Thanks,
you.
and welcome to San Ignacio.
Yes, I love this town. I love this place. It's so beautiful. So much natural beauty, the trees, the fauna, the flora, just gorgeous.
Especially the morning way cool.
Yes, and when I come here, I feel like I'm a little bit closer to heaven. The elevation. Yeah, so let's start off with you, Allan, a little seniority here. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Who is this Allan Chulin?
Well, I try to be funny. I try to be places where I go, I can generate, good energies and make everybody feel at home. That's me. Okay. I know like one by themselves or feel outside, especially me. So I try to train that to my children. If you see someone out there and they have look lonely, bring them in. I tell them, because sometimes they need a friend. Sometimes you can never know through the troubles they're going home or the depression or maybe they get in school. And sometimes we love everything we love make somebody feel happy.
Right. So what kind of family do you come from?
I come from a small family. I have we are four siblings. Dad passed away when I was 15. So my mom still alive. I think she's going to be in her 60s. And I have one of my...
That 15-year-old death of your dad, I mean, when you were only 15, that's a crucial time for a man.
Oh yes, it's
because a boy needs his father, but especially as he starts to become a man, a teenager. And so that's a very crucial thing. We'll come back to that. But, we're developing a theme here. And so I want people to understand that when you lose your dad at that age, it's so important to have a father figure. Did you have anybody around to help you along in life?
Not really.
After you lost your dad?
Not really.
As a man?
As a man, no, not really. Growing up, it was only my mom. She was the one who's taking care of four of us, Okay. After, because we used to live in Belize, I went to St. Martin's de Porres, and then we got transferred to St. Ignatius. The reason why, because my dad works at the air traffic control. So when I was a toddler, I was originally from Bolitry. I born from Bolitry. So they took us to Belize City to come into the school.
You went to St. Ignatius School? That's my alma mater. Yeah, great.
Then from there, when things wasn't going right, then we came up this side. And when my father passed away,
hometown.
Yeah, back to hometown. Okay. Then I ended up there. Live the rest of my life here. Okay,
are you the only son? Or
No, I have one brother. I got one older brother and
two sisters.
Two sisters, but one passed away.
Okay, so
but
it's
that's like 3 years ago.
Okay, so when your dad died, how did that affect your family?
It was a hard hit because mom didn't have a high school or university like my dad, so she had to pick up the rein to feed us. So it wasn't easy for her. It was a struggle, but so we learned from her, So that's the way how we end up to become I think more loving family because we only see mom was working.
Okay, and struggling
hard, right?
No?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Your brother, was he instrumental in your life after your dad died, like stepping in like a dad?
No, when we came up, I think only for a while he lived with us, and then he got married. So I ended up to be the only one.
And then he got busy with his life.
Wife, right? He got his family now.
Your family is Catholic?
Yeah, fully Catholic.
So you receive all your sacraments?
Right, baptism, First Holy Communion, confirmation, and marriage.
Did you ever see your parents worship together in church or like pray the rosary, do devotions or anything like that?
No, not to my knowledge, no. I think they were Catholic, but sometimes they just visit the churches, but not that deep inside.
Okay.
Like one want to be.
Did you have influence with anybody else, like a priest or a nun that maybe helped you along in your life?
Not what I recall.
Not
No,
at all.
I just go on my own. I know it was an obligation when I was in St. Ignatius. I know we need to go to church, so I used to get up every Sunday and go to mass. I think I was the only one that used to go to mass.
I was just gonna so you weren't that little boy where get the bulletin but skip mass. Go get a bulletin after mass and say, "Ma, I'm at church."
No. I like the church. I used to do collections too. So I used to dedicate. I remember one time that my dad took me to agriculture show, and I needed to do a petition. So we came, and one of his friends said, "Let's go back." And I tell my dad, "No." I tell him, "I need to go to church because I have an obligation to do a petition."
Wow.
And he said, "Let's go, son." He said, "Let's go. This is the only passport I have." I tell him, "No, I need to go.
Wow.
So we got home.
So you were the influencer to your dad
right.
for his spirituality. Excellent. Well, Gabriel, let's talk about you for a little bit.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Yeah.
All right. So tell me a little bit about who you are, where you come from, your family.
Well, we actually grew up here in San Ignacio in front of the old hospital because the new hospital is by Polichi Road.
Okay.
A family of 10.
10?
Yeah, so
Wow.
I'm like the middle one.
Many
They have
children have a syndrome,
two
You often
older.
feel like you're displaced or ignored, right?
They have like 2 older than me, and 2 girls older than me, 2 boys older than me, and so you have either the middle one.
Okay, so you're 5, then another child, and then 4 more.
Yes,
Okay, so you're one of the middle children.
the middle one.
Okay.
And
You look like you may rude, Gabriel.
no, and out of the 10, my sister and I are the only one who went to college.
Okay.
And out of the 10, I'm the only one doing the 6th farm.
Wow.
And like because of the financial aid from my parents, 10 children, like steps.
You're close, no?
When the girls would have to mind the older ones, the little ones, so then they drop out of school, primary school, so they would just do 4 or start at 5. So that's why only my sister and I went so far or going.
So what was the family life back then for you?
Well, I was actually like, my dad was nearly the same, busy working. And yes, we participated in maybe for Easter and Mass, but not actually like a family going together.
Every Sunday.
Not-
It was more like by occasion.
Yeah. And then maybe my mom would go, or maybe only my dad would go, but the school life was the one that touched me or involved, because once you go to a Catholic school, you have to, we get the different charlas, like they say, the sessions for you to do the first Holy Communion, and you go.
Right.
And in those times, we had the teachers like Mr. Amir Frutos, Miss Elena Awe, different people in society that used to do the rosary, the processions, and we get involved that became an altar boy in primary school.
Yeah, so tell me you were an altar boy for quite a while, right?
In the 80s and
Okay.
right up to, because I graduated in 92 from standard 6.
Okay.
And my teacher was a religion teacher, Miss Sister Clara, when she moved to the city to be the principal there.
Of Palote. Yeah.
So, but she had her influence in my life, Mr. Frutos, and different people in the community that what I didn't get home, I get it around them. And
Cool.
to where I am right now.
Yes, right.
The involvement of myself and my family.
We see in some countries in the world, they have completely taken God out of the scheme of things. And then we see what's happening around the world. People just go crazy, mass shootings, targeting children even in mass. We just recently saw that, where some children were killed whilst they were attending mass. It's just really crazy. But the fact that what you said, what you didn't get at home, you got at school is very important. So we want to make sure that we can maintain that in our country, that we continue to teach children about God in the schools. Because we know there's a worldwide push to get God out of the schools too, right?
Yeah.
And we want to ensure that people understand the consequence of that. That when you take God out of the scheme of things, there are consequences to pay for it, right?
Yeah.
So you were an altar boy for a while, but then you decided to like disconnect. You didn't, you got into the way of the world, and that was no longer
because
attractive for you.
The world, I mean, they offer you a lot of things. And yes, there was the alcohol, the night bleaching. Yes, maybe you didn't drink, but just hang around with the guys till maybe 1, 2 in the morning. And that influence is the one that let I saw a girl, and then that was because actually I was accepted at nursing school now in Belize City.
Oh, okay.
And but as a male, I couldn't stay in the dorms, and I didn't have anyone for boarding. So that dream and I came back to San Ignacio, and then that is why I met my partner, and till now.
Right, okay. So you have, your parents are still alive?
Only my dad, he is 82 at the moment.
Okay, but your parents were married?
Yes,
and
married.
remained married until your mom died?
Yeah, she died at age 55, 22 years right now.
And your dad didn't take up with anyone else?
Not now.
Wow.
He's still there, 82. Soon, in March 1st, God, he will be 83.
83, by the grace of God.
Yeah,
God
he's right
willing.
there. And I mean, when my mom died, I cried and cried by the tomb. And I was crying and crying, and I saw my dad, and he was not crying. So I said, no, I must be tough like my dad, and I stopped crying. But but no, I don't know what will happen when I die. If somebody cry for me.
I'm sure they will. You have children.
My son.
You have 4 children, right?
One
Yes.
son and 3 girls.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about your family. Gabriel, you met this beautiful young lady. What's her name?
Anna.
Anna. And you just fell head over heels with Anna.
To tell you that I used to go to downtown Blue Angels to go and dance. And I had a jeans pants with a buckle on my belt.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know if it was a coincidence or I don't know what happened, that she had something like a chain, and I got hooked until today. And that hook, I was dancing maybe too close, and I got hooked until today. I'm 29 years with her, and 14 years out of that married.
Okay, so you entered into a common law relationship with her. How long after you dated her?
I would say like maybe about 6 months.
6 months.
6 months.
Okay. And you lived with her for like 14 and a half years.
Before I decided to step into that serious and something that I decided because of my girls.
Let's stick up in there. We'll come back to that story.
Okay, all right.
Hold it for a minute. So 14 and a half years you lived in a common law relationship. Let's talk about what life was like for Gabriel and Anna during that 14 and a half years. What was life like?
Well, we still used to come to Mass, but because I used to live in Contiki, so we used to walk from Contiki to downtown and participated in a Mass.
Every Sunday?
Every Sunday, and participated.
From the time you got together?
We always participated in Mass.
Okay.
And the same thing with the priest and your conscience that you're living in this relationship now. Then my son came in 99. So then my mind went and said that what example I will set for my son and my girls later. And but my time coming to mass, participated and everything, we did that because that was how I was brought up. One, by influence by Sister Clara and Mr. Frutos and the different Catholics that...
So you're in this common law relationship.
Mhm.
You still go to church every Sunday,
Yes.
right? But then your conscience that prick you that you're not quite live the way you're supposed to live and not meeting the expectations of those who had influenced your life. And then you had a daughter that you raised with your wife, which was her child, and then your son came along. And then after that, you had two daughters
Yes.
with your wife. And then something happened when these little girls were about 11.
Yeah, that was the time that for me to participate more fully in the church, then I said, well, it's time to get married.
But you met somebody and they said something to you that triggered that feeling even deeper.
But it's because they would say,
You met Sister Clara.
and then, yeah, Sister Clara in Belize City, and then she said, I told her, sister, this is my two girls. He said, Gabriel, I thought you were going to be a priest. Because I was so involved and got very good grades in religion and participated with the influences, Mr. Frutos and Sister Clara. Participated and still, behind of my mind, I still have that. Someday I would become a deacon. I can't become a priest again, but I could maybe serve the church as a deacon, as a lived-in deacon. But
Okay.
only God will tell. That is my, I think, one of my last accomplishments. And then, but if I don't see it, but at least I thought about it.
So sister met you with your two daughters and she found out that they weren't even baptized.
Yeah, not baptized.
So she gave you a tongue lashing.
So he said, where you do it for? So the church was built in my yard.
In
It started
Contiki.
in the Contiki. It started as watching Hermana Hela video, just slideshows and bringing the people. And then we said, okay, we'll do a novena for Guadalupe. And then it went novena for Esquipulas. And then Father came and said, okay, well, why we don't do something, El Señor de Esquipulas? And so that was the part with Father Lorenzo, and that is when Contiki and the community participated.
Father Lorenzo, oh my God.
And he said,
he
and
was
the
a
people-
parish priest at St. Ignatius.
okay, well, to tell you that I participated in the reenactment of the Passion of Christ for Easter. I was one of the soldiers with him.
Oh,
when he did
okay.
it first in Contiki, we had the video, the movie. Well, he had
So did you go
recorded.
to Belize City when he did it at St. Ignatius?
No, we didn't participate with him there,
okay.
but
Wow.
we did it here
We
with
really
him.
live in a small world. God is so good.
And all of those things touch you or mold you,
Yes.
or prepare you to where you are.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a little influence of a lot of people in the community, and for me to participate more or get more involved, I said, oh, I have to get married. And the blessings that came with that and are coming with that and will come with that.
Did you find yourself being challenged in different ways when you just lived in the world, when you just lived in this common law relationship?
Yes, it was a challenge, especially with the influence. Sister Clara went to Belize City. Mr. Frutos was not my teacher again. I went to high school, and the influence and the group that I hang with, that's how I met my partner. But the world itself was offering you things of the world, not of God. And especially right now, our youths, our children are getting more influence than in my time. So that is why I want to be an example, one, for my son, for my community, for the boys, and especially for my family, for them to be for I to be a role model, and they would say, oh, I'm living in a relationship, just common law, but my uncle is married. They are seeing how I'm being blessed. So if they are seeing this, or when they see this, I would want to recommend for them to follow God's way.
You know, one of the things as a wife in a couple that offers marriage preparation, most of the couples that we have prepared for marriage do live in common law relationships, and they openly admit that they are afraid to get married because people tell them the minute you get married, trouble starts. Everything's sweet till you really get married in the church. Did you find that to be so?
No, in my time, in my relationship, no, it just, I don't know if if it's a myth or if it's just something
It's
that
a
people
devil's
want,
lie.
that they would want to influence you for not taking that step. But one, the husband or the groom, one, if he don't have money for a fiesta, if he don't got money for give so much people food, maybe he not sure that he not got the financial aid.
Mm-hmm.
But when I got married, it was a community. It was a participation in the community. This one would do rice and beans, that one would give the plates, and everyone come together and one big celebration.
Was it more than one couple that got married when you got married?
No, I was the only one, but a blessing that happened that when I got married, my two girls got baptized.
Oh, so it was a 2-in-1 deal.
Yeah, and that is the picture at
Honor with God, He blesses us umpteen times over.
And I was the first couple at that church, at that location.
Wow. All right, we'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll hear more from Allan and Gabriel and doing it God's way.
Okay.
Welcome back to Family God's Way. We're talking to Gabriel Maldonado and Allan Chulin. Both gentlemen lived in common law relationships, but then decided that they wanted to do it the right way, God's way. So Allan, let's talk a little bit to you now. Tell us your story. Tell us how you met your beautiful wife and what happened.
Okay. When I was working at Exodus Travel, my wife works at commercial, St. Nancy Commercial. No, it no longer exists.
Okay.
And I get up just to stretch, and I went by the door, and I said, this person passed. And when they passed, but she couldn't see me because the glass was tilted.
Okay.
And when I said the smile, I said, who that this young girl? I need for watch this girl at work. And well, finally I know where I work, but never know how to approach her. So I went to take out a stereo.
Just
to get her name, and that way, that's the how we end up we start to chat and talk through like 3 months, 4 months, until we become girlfriend and boyfriend. And so I think we dated like an year. From 1 year, then we get together. I think we only had to rent like about 4 months before we built our house.
Okay.
And then from there, we are together for 25 years as common law. And then last year we got married. So this year make it 1 year that we have our anniversary.
Okay, we'll talk about that in a minute, but I want to ask for both of you, when you decided to move in with your then girlfriend, to enter into a common law relationship, I know your dad was already dead. But did your mom say anything to you?
That's funny. She didn't know I was moving in.
You did it sneakily.
Yeah, I just did it. She said, "You want to move?" I said, "Okay, let's go." So when you go and tell, I'm going to take it out. And I just, my mom knew I was already.
So you just moved out. You didn't tell your mom you were moving in with a girl.
Right, yeah.
And how about you, Gabriel?
Well, my mom did, usually it's the mom that would want to think about it. This is not correct. But then I didn't, because I know she would say no. I talked to my dad, and so dad said, "This is what you want?" I tell her yes. So I got the approval from my dad.
Oh.
But not mom. Mom is the one that more preservative, and she more.
So now you understand that it is your responsibility now to have a talk with your son.
With any youth
any
or
of
son.
your children. Well, we're talking
family.
about your own family
Yes,
right
yes.
now. That you know that your dad gave you bad advice, right? You know that. And you don't want to repeat that. You want that not to happen again. So you have a great responsibility now. You have 4 children that you have to tell them, no, I don't agree with you. This is not correct. But I mean, we are born free, and as parents, we're all parents, we want the best things for our children, right? So, Allan, knowing that, he didn't tell his mom,
No.
right? And how long before your mom found out?
Well, she realized I didn't come home at all, so she figured out, okay, this boy must have gone live with this girl. So.
Oh, but she did know about the girlfriend.
Yeah, she didn't know.
Did she express any dissatisfaction?
Of course, as a mom, they will, because, the baby they go, so they prefer, like any other mom, they don't want to lose their son. They don't want to see their son stepping out to something different.
Well, I think she probably, as a woman, I know, we want to see you do it the right way. Right?
And that's the thing that Gabriel had over me. He had hurt his dad. I didn't have no one to talk to me. I didn't have a brother to advise me, what, I think you're going the wrong way,
Yeah.
So I just, as growing up in your 20s, you don't worry about the consequences.
And this is a problem when parents are not on the same page at times, right? As we raise our children. As husband and wife, you have to be on the same page. Because if not, children are going to play you one against the other. And in your case, Gabriel, that's what happened. Your mom outrightly wasn't with that. But then your dad caved in and said, well, man, I be man, right? I'm pretty sure it's something along that line.
Macho.
It's no problem. But then when it comes to the daughters, it's a different story.
And that's a different, because my father-in-law, he grew up in a Catholic. He was a lay minister. No, he's 100. He's 100 years old.
Wow. Still alive.
Still alive. The only thing he can't see, and Mr. Gabriel says he's a lay minister, he takes communion every Saturday for him.
Oh,
but he wasn't in agreement with our living together. He always said me, you need to get married. You need to get married. When I
never
visit,
tried to beat you up at any time?
No, he said, you promised me that you're going to get married to her. You promised me, and I'm still waiting. So,
so you fulfilled
I fulfilled the
promise you made 1 year ago.
1 year ago.
Okay, and you were in a common law relationship
For 25 years.
10 years longer than Gabriel. 25 years. That's a better part of your life. What made you decide that that common law relationship was no longer for you?
The family wasn't it was there, but I feel like something was missing, and I always feel like I'm living in a sinful world. But then I was afraid, I was afraid to move, to have that stepping stone to get married.
Did you ever confront that fear? Why? Because your parents were married.
Yeah, that's the thing. I never really thought about it until now, why I didn't do it. But I think it's just afraid of just the word married, like committed. I didn't want to be committed, even though I was a common, I didn't want to be fully committed.
Okay.
So I still want to have that freedom. But my wife always told me that you're no longer young. We are committed as together as a union.
Do you guys realize how brave you are right now? You're both, I really admire what you're doing, because you're two very brave souls doing what many men refuse to do, to admit, one, I was wrong. 2, I wasn't doing it the right way. I messed up, but I can fix this. And this is the way to fix it. I really want to thank you both for stepping out, for being willing to share your story. Because most men will say, well, I don't think I've done nothing wrong. You know? Do you understand the consequence of what you did for 25 years, living in a non-sacramental relationship? And do you see the fruits of what you have done for the past year?
Yeah, I see the difference when I get closer to God, to the church tour. You know, I always wake up early in the morning, and the first thing I put on is YouTube, and sometimes I listen to worship songs, right?
Okay.
And by coincidence, they have a father. I don't know if you know him, Father Arturo Condeo from Mexico.
Father Arturo. I'm not sure, but
Okay, he spoke Spanish. He's in Spanish church.
okay.
And I hear him preaching.
Is this El Toro?
No, this is his.
Okay.
And something in his message caught me, you know, and I started to listen to him. And I tell my wife, I tell her, all the time, I think this father, they tell to me, you know, I tell her, why? Because he tell her, this man, they lecture me, and I didn't even know. I tell her, he said, you serious? He said, yes. I tell her, go here. I tell her, this man, they tell to me. I tell her. And then she said, He said, and like he scolded me. I tell her, but he's just a priest, right? But I think this is my guilt.
Yeah.
He killed me, you know, all this on sinful thing that I've done, you know, my kids born on, not getting
wedlock,
right. And so all of these things bother me. And that's the way I started to get more involved with the church. So I bring my wife along, and that's because her family is deep in the church.
You said you have an outside child too, right?
Yeah, I have a daughter,
before
right.
You met your wife.
My wife, yeah.
I mean, your common law, and then, okay. And so you have a relationship with her, with that child?
Not a close relationship.
Okay.
And I think I need to mend that relationship before I pass away or I have another chance.
It's not too late. You have a chance. Yes. I hope she's listening.
I hope so too.
Or she gets to listen to this.
Right.
Would you want to tell her something right now if she's listening?
Well, I just want to say whatever happened, I'm sorry. You know, I couldn't be there as her. She wanted to be as her dad. But if we get a chance to meet each other, I will be so happy to
make it
up to her.
Right. Yeah. And your other children deserve to get to meet her too.
Yeah, they wanted. They know about their other sister. They wanted to meet her. You know, they are dying to meet her. But I think it's me trying to move it from fear, right? Fear.
And fear is not from God, right? Fear is from the evil one. But once you're able to overcome that fear, we can do even greater things. And you have both done that. So you're now married for a year.
For 1 year.
Okay, and you said you felt that priest was actually talking to you. Is that what catapulted you to make the decision to get married, or that was just one of what you experienced? Because
that's one of what I experienced.
Okay.
You know, and my wife always wanted to get married. I'm the one that was holding it back. So I decided, with all she knows, I went to the church. I talked to Father Williams, and I said, what is the process? And he said, just give your name and your birth. So I tell the girl to write me down one time.
Wow.
So he said, just get your birth certificate from your wife, and from there we will proceed. So I called my wife and I tell her, get ready because we're going to get married. She said, why stop the lie me again? You know, you tell me. You like to play me? And I tell her, no, get ready because this is a sealed deal. And we first, I tell her, we need to talk to Miss Alice because she can give me the first lesson, and that way how she believed me. Still they come in and, you know, they play wrong, you know, and we say, you're serious? I tell her, yes. We are serious, I tell her. So I the one who make the move, like we can get married.
So you establish yourself as the priest of the home.
Right.
And then there's no turning back.
No turning back.
You said you met some challenges over the last 25 years.
Yeah, we met a lot of challenges, man. Talking about financial, talking about health, especially my girls and my wife got ill. And I see that the house was no longer the way how it is because she's in a corner, my child is in another corner, you know, like, even though we talk and we go to church at Bishop Martin, it's not the same like when you're fully committed in the church and, you know, exposed to the love of the church. It's so amazing, and it's not that because my wife says that you drag me in. It's, I never force you to get in, and I just accept the Lord and here, and I still continue to do good for the church.
Wow. And you are a lay minister, right?
Yes.
Gabriel.
Going for 9 years now.
9 years. So after 14 years, you got married. 9 of that you have served as a lay minister.
And other stuff.
Wow.
I do. I'm a lecturer for the youths or children doing the First Holy Communion from Contiki, and for the confirmation and the marriage.
You know,
couples.
you have a very important role to play, Gabriel, because we have this mentality in the world, and this is as old as I can remember, that men can sow their royal oats. But I think we have a responsibility to teach our young men to remain celibate and wait for their wedding day.
Until they're married.
Right? There's a great mockery about a boy being a virgin. But if people really come to understand the truth, and I would suggest to anybody who is looking for the truth to read up about the theology of the body by Pope John Paul, right? The second. Very, it teaches what real love is, and that's what we have to begin to teach our men. And so I want to encourage you, Gabriel, to study that theology of the body and begin to promote that to the young men. Because we have too many men who have become, who are irresponsible, who don't take their body as the temple of God. And we teach our girls to do that. And I, as a mother, you know, it's important for us to not only teach our daughters, but our sons too, right? The men need to be equally responsible, and it goes back to what we teach in the home. And examples we set, as you said earlier, right?
Yes, and also, as the lay minister, in Contiki, we don't have a Catholic school. In all of the communities, you have a Catholic school, so the children going to those Catholic schools get the chance to get the religion and the prayers, the different maybe signs and the meanings of everything. But going to a non-Catholic school, the children are not taught about Mary. More they go against the teachings of the church. And so those children, for them to get the sacraments, that is what I do on Sundays with next Miss Carolina. And we meet with them every Sunday. And what Father has done in Contiki and all of the villages, any person that was going to get First Holy Communion, they will receive it on the baptism on the feast day. And in Contiki, we have El Señor de Esquipulas, our RC church. And so for the 15th of January, we prepare them to receive baptism and First Holy Communion on the 15th of January of every year. And from then, the teachings go ahead, and for them to get the confirmation in June. So in Contiki, we have participation of Las Posadas, Novena for Esquipulas, Novena for Guadalupe. We do Mother's Day program, Father's Day program.
Sounds like a very active community.
And from Contiki is like the nucleus of the church, meaning that we have a children's group, a youth group. We have altar boys and girls. And when Sacred Heart Parish itself needs something, Contiki. When the seminarians from Sokots need assistance, Contiki. When we have to decorate, because most of our elderly from Sacred Heart, they are elderly. They can't climb up the ladder like first. They can't run like first. So Contiki is the feeding or the next to assist in. We do the alfombras. We dye the sados, and we do the sados tapestry in Contiki. procession in Contiki for the Easter, and then we can do the saddles in Sacred Heart, procession in Sacred Heart, and so we have a lot.
So I'll invite you to come to Belize City at St. Ignatius
Yeah, I
Parish.
need to go back.
I have
Allan,
that.
so he can come with you and give back to his alma mater.
Maybe that's it. That's it. I talked to someone about teaching them to do the dyeing of the saddles and let them do it at Saint Joseph first, and then they would influence other schools, and then they would do something small, and then they would grow.
Yeah, well, and perhaps too, you mentioned that there's no Catholic school in Contiki. That's something that probably you might want to think about. To establish a school. You establish a church, right? In your yard?
Yes, but then we have the 2 acres that we're praying to God for the title to come out. Father has signed, and so I think, well, I don't know if we're not praying enough, but I want to ask God for Him to give us that final blessing for the title on the 2 acres of land, and then we will start the construction.
Well, it says, ask and you will receive. Knock and the door will be open, right? Seek and you will find. So don't forget that. That's a very important Bible verse at this time, because you want that title for a very important reason. And God always answers our prayers, especially when it's for good. Right? God will never give us something bad. Never.
And that's what I want to try to do at San Juan Diego. It's a pretty church, but we don't have people that attend.
So where is San Juan Diego?
That's on Bolitri Road.
Okay.
And that's the only Catholic church there. And it's a nice, pretty church.
But you live in Contiki?
I live in Contiki.
So
my girls goes to Bishop Martin School, so they got the church there too.
Okay, that's the church. San
Juan Diego.
In Bolitri Falls.
In Bolitri Road. That's right in San Ignacio. Go into Bolitri. That's what we want to do, because when the school that has started, now the church will, because now they have a requirement that they need to go to Malta to fill their card.
Right.
But when school closed, if seven souls reach there, that's enough. So that's the reason why we want to try to promote Bishop Martin. If Bishop Martin people and Santiago Juan people are hearing, they're welcome to visit the church. And they started at 4. Because first it used to be 5, but now they take it to 4 o'clock.
Okay, in the evening.
In the evening.
Okay. You okay, Gabriel?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry about this. I just want to mention Bishop Santiago Juan, because it's a pretty church, and the Contiki church is not that pretty, but a lot of people arrive there to worship. But I don't know what the reason.
Special.
Yeah.
Mission, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. So, tell me, what does family mean to you? Gabriel, let's start with you.
Let's see if the truth will permit. Well, family, I go with the family of Nazareth, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. And as the head of the family, myself and Jesus as the head of the church. So what we do now, or my influence to my children would influence someone else in the community or other families that are living in this relationship like I used to. And the family is something sacred. The family is where you get joy, love, and if you don't get that support from your family, the only thing is the world, liquor, drugs, all kind of stuff. So for me, like I mentioned to Mr. Allan, a family that prays together, stays together, and my quote as always is Miss Madre Teresa, Saint Madre Teresa. And so a smile, well, if you want peace, it starts with a smile. So if I would get vexed with my wife or my partner, The wrong thing is to go and sleep. The correct thing is to ask for forgiveness. Yes, I am a sinner. I ask for forgiveness, and we move along. I mentioned to Mr. Allan, yes, I did wrong. I'm trying to correct it. I got married. If I did anything wrong, and I have to influence my son to do the correct thing, or any youth or any person out there that is not doing the God way, let us correct it. Let us do it God's way. And you would reap the blessings that I have seen for so many years. My children got educated. They went to school. My son is a chef. My daughter's first grad it will be a nurse in November. My baby, she will be 22. She has her associates in business. I am doing my associates in biology and chemistry, 1 more year. And that is all blessings from the involvement of my family, my community, and other people that God have put in my path. If you go to Contiki and you video, you could see the blessing. And maybe in the future you would say, see, Gabriel, I had a little board house, zinc, patch up, but that was my home. That is my castle. But it's not how it look. It's the people, the love
What's happening
that is
inside.
happening inside. And with that love, Mr. Allan could be is witness in Contiki. Sometimes we don't have a chair. It's full inside, and we have to stand up outside.
Wow.
The church only could hold maybe about 50 persons, and we need to expand. But I want God to bless us to build something more formal in the 2 acres that we have been gifted. Miss Kosteki has donated the 2 acres. After the deacon got killed in that area, she donated 2 acres, and we give thanks to God and for Him to continue bless her and for giving 2 acres to the church. I always say, for me, I feel gifted to do God's work. But what would be better, for me to be with God or for me to continue His work? I will continue His work as long as He gives me strength and health. And I don't, yes, you, as a man, you want to provide for your family. When they say, Dad, I need footprint. Dad, I need one laptop. Dad, I need, God provides. And I've been living it, 3 of us studying at the same time. My granddaughter at second farm, my daughter doing nursing, the next one doing 6th farm, and then I doing
4 of you.
and then my wife is not working, and God has provided me till where I am right now.
Wow. That's the power of God.
And that I can see that's the blessing of doing it God's way.
Right. Amen.
Yep.
How about you, Allan? What do you see family being?
My family being, well, first of all, I try to teach my children to respect each other. You know, sometimes we have different thinking, different understanding of things. Not because one is a 6th farmer and the next one is at primary school, like they doesn't have any common sense with what they're talking. I always tell you to respect each other and respect anyone is outside. If you see someone bullying, you need to step up and you need to calm the situation, because I tell you, someone always get hurt. When someone attacks, they say they always get hurt. My little family is small. You know, it's a very small but loving. I think we both of have different situation, and God show him his way of working, and my way of working. He showed me 2 different parts, you know. And so far, I see our little family as more closer to God, because 3 of us go, 2 does the reading. Now I have a little girl, Amanda. She's be the first time ever she's gonna be an altar girl. That's Miss
Okay.
Alice asked her to do it, and she was willing, but she was always afraid. She wanted to, but always afraid. So I try to encourage them. I love to encourage people. I love to encourage people. So that's one of the way I think the Lord is working for me. That they're not afraid. I see my children are not afraid. Like other kids, like they want to do it. Like they shall know they are willing to step up.
So, what advice would you give to a young person, male or female, if they come to you and say, I'm going to live with my girlfriend or my boyfriend? What would you say to that young person?
Well, I don't recommend it to do it because, first of all, a lot of mistakes will happen, And if you don't ready for those responsibility, it doesn't make sense to live with someone if just to live in with it. You need to really have that priority of being like responsible. Whatever mistakes make, be responsible as a man or as a woman together in a union. Or if you can't be a union, might as well even try to be as a common law.
Gabriel, what advice would you give to a young person?
Well, my advice would be, don't make the same mistake as myself. You want to live the love, the blessing of God. Yes, they will have a lot of people out there that would give you wrong interpretation of, they would murmur on your ears, and they would like discourage you to do the right thing, to do it God's way. Reap, and you would live the blessing of that waiting. Wait and do it the proper way. If you wait, both of you wait together and do it how God said, He would always bless you.
And even though we do it the right way sometimes, we might still have trials and tribulations because we're not promised that it will all be hunky-dory, right? We will face trials and tribulations from time to time. That's what being human means. But we have the promise that God will never abandon us. He will be with us always. But when we're not doing it the right way and we're living in sin, what we have done is turn our back on God, and then we cannot see that He is with us, even in our sinfulness. So we don't have that peace that the sacrament of matrimony brings us. That I have made this commitment. I stand next to this person until death do I part, in good times and bad times, in sickness and in health, right? And so I believe that you have set a right example to your family by making this big step. You 15 years ago, Gabriel, you a year ago, Allan, but it's never too late. It's only too late when you don't do it and then you die and you never did it. But you have made the right step, and I believe God is pleased. And I believe that you are both honorable men for sharing your message today to tell people family with God at the center is the way to go. It's a most beautiful experience and life that can be lived, right?
And they will have trials, Even though you're married, you have trials with your wife, And what I make my relationship so unique is that even though she's my wife, I don't consider her as my wife because sometimes I still text her, love and miss you.
But who said enough for calling your wife?
Like my wife, sometimes I tell her, Ma. Sometimes that's what my mom don't like. And I tell her, Ma, which one? And I have a lot of petty words and my wife too. I tell her, my wife, sometimes when I work, she texts me every hour on the hour. Because since I get I diagnosed hypertension now, that was always her worry. Make I go check up. And one time, to be honest with you, I catch a pain in my chest. I never want to tell her, like when Mr. Gabriel said, man, don't tell her. And I stay right there and I get up and say, oh Lord, please, I tell her, don't make it be heart attack. Tomorrow I went early to the hospital. And my wife want to know how comes I to be so early. I tell her, when you go in the hospital, I go check up my blood test and see if she may feel the most peaceful enough for she. That was me, and the peaceful time when she may have. And she said, long time I did tell you, and I make you go. And I saw it on Saturday. I said, I know I feel it. Jesus going tomorrow. And That one I done and I went.
All right. Well, again, I want to thank you both for having shared your story today. I know that this is not going to be the last time we'll hear from you guys. Next time it'll be for that church to be put up and that school and for your wish to come true of that church on the Bullet True Falls Road. Right? Yes. So we want to thank you both and we want to say continue to do it God's way. God is very pleased when we put Him first.
Right.
Because all we need to do is seek first the kingdom of God, and then all else will be ours. And with that, we want to thank you for joining us today on Family God's Way, and we will see you next week for episode 5.
Faithful, faithful we are, husband and wife